don't join me at the AIDS Walk LA this weekend or donate to this cause. Seriously. AIDS research, treatment, I mean, why bother, right? AIDS was an epidemic that swept through America like 10 years ago, and now it's this thing that we really don't hear that much about anymore, right? I mean, it's not like 2 million people died in the United States alone last year, or that 33 million people are living with HIV and AIDS in this country, and half of them are women. But if we paused just 1 second and thought about it, what if the AIDS epidemic was about more than just AIDS? What if it was about equal access to medical treatment, no matter how much money you have in your pocket, the color of your skin, based on where you live? What if finding a way to live with the disease and dignity was better than giving up and letting go and saying, fuck it, nobody cares about me anyway? I started the journey to educate myself about AIDS and HIV when I was in high school. I would take the bus to the other side of town, kind of the bad side of town. My parents thought I was completely crazy, and I started volunteering for the Pittsburgh AIDS Task Force. I was definitely the first person in my high school to volunteer for an AIDS organization. And right around that time, they were going to be launching the first ever Pittsburgh AIDS Walk, and I was appointed the youth chair. It was such an amazing experience. I all of a sudden knew all these people that had HIV or AIDS, and they told me things like how they like to say they were living with the disease instead of dying from it. And I saw prejudice firsthand from people when I told them I was volunteering with people who had HIV and AIDS, and they scoffed at me and they said, I can't believe that you're doing that. And I also met people who were just beginning to deal with their diagnosis. So in my process of volunteering there, I took food to houses of people living with AIDS, and by the time I graduated high school, people I had really known and cared about had passed away. It was a really, really emotional journey for me, and it remains a very integral part of who I am to this day. So in researching about current medical treatment for AIDS, I found some amazing things that I want to share with you. Some drugs have proven to be the most effective therapy for chronic hepatitis B and C. And since AIDS attacks the immune system, doctors and pharmaceutical companies have had to get really creative with the drug cocktails we hear about in the media all the time. And I found that drugs originally looked at for preventing or curing AIDS are currently being used for patients with advanced breast cancer who undergo bone marrow transplants in a last-ditch effort to fight the disease, which is really fitting since we're in Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? Other AIDS-specific drugs are being used for patients with other types of cancer, Alzheimer's disease, multiple sclerosis, and the most amazing part of all is that they're working. The trials, the drugs, everyone says they're actually working. Now, 15, 20 years ago, it was mostly about finding a cure. And everyone was so sure that we were really, really close. Now, we know that we're still looking for a cure, but it's about so much more. It's about prevention, education, awareness, access to medical treatment, engaging the community. So this Sunday here in LA, I'm walking, and I'm gonna walk for dear friends of mine who I've lost from the disease. I'm also walking for everyone who has no one else to walk for them. I'm walking for the people who are hanging on with a very, very thin hope that somewhere out there, there's a medical treatment that will let them live with a little less pain and let them feel like this vibrant, amazing person that they once were. So on Sunday, I'm walking with causecasters, friends, strangers, friends of strangers, and we're all walking together just to celebrate how far the search for a cure has come. And you and I both know that to really win a war, you have to persevere. You have to have endurance. You have to have strength. And so we all have to keep walking to do our part to find a cure once and for all. So I would hope if you're in LA, you might think about coming to join us on Sunday. It's going to be really fun, and it's going to be really educational, and it's going to be really beautiful. And if you can't make it, then maybe you'd please, please, please think about making just a small donation on behalf of the walk. So I created this URL. You know these things are never easy to type in. I'll give you a second to pull up a window and do it. It's tinyurl.com/AIDS-walk-sloane. And I'm not really asking for too much. Just give what you can. I know you have $5. I actually probably know that you have $25 too, but I don't want to impose how much you're going to be giving, as long as you're giving something, right? So every single donation is appreciated, and I know that you'll do this, and I'll just wait while you donate. Okay, did you do it? I'll just hang here. No, it's fine. I don't have a million things going on today or anything. So I hope you did it, or you pulled up the window, or you have the information there, you're going to think about it, pull out your credit card later and do it. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. So here at CauseCast, we like to tell people to find a cause and make it their own. And I like to say, pick one, pick five. I know that your passion is boundless. And if every one of us just chose one cause, imagine what an amazing world this would be. So thank you very, very much for watching, for paying attention, and I'm sending you the very best from the bottom of my cause-filled heart.